Hey guys, welcome back. On today's video, I'm gonna tell you my barbecue story, so let's get to it. Alrighty guys, so my barbecue story started about 6 years ago. So I grew up in Mexico City. I remember the first time my parents took me to a grilled chicken restaurant. I remember falling in love with the smell of the fat and the salt burning with that fire. And I remember how much I loved that, how intense and rich and beautiful that food was. Fast forward to my teenage years here in Salt Lake City, Utah. I grew up eating Dickey's Barbecue, Famous Dave's, and I thought their brisket, their pulled pork, was the best thing ever. I remember getting the brisket at Famous Dave's on a Texas toast and just grabbing that lean brisket and literally pulling it apart like an accordion, and just that meat would fall apart. And I thought it was so delicious, so amazing, and I loved it. So fast forward to my college years, once I could finally afford my own smoker, I went to Sportsman's Warehouse here in Riverton, South Jordan, and bought my first Green Mountain Jim Bowie pellet smoker. I thought I was on top of the world. I loved it. It was so fun to smoke on that. I smoked lots of ribs, pulled pork, but it took me a few months to get to a brisket. Prior to doing my first brisket, I was working at Simple Nexus, and they asked me if I wanted to go to Austin, Texas to help set up the technology booth for the sales and marketing department. And I said, yeah, let's go. Like, that sounds like a lot of fun. Took me a few weeks to get that set up. And so I needed to go to Austin, Texas to help them set it up, to make sure it was working. And so before I went there, I Googled best places to eat in Austin, Texas. And Franklin Barbecue kept coming up on the list. And then I would read about it, and people would say I had to be there at 7 a.m. And I'm like, they open at 11. I don't want to wait that long. Like, who actually waits that long just for brisket? Like, it doesn't make sense. It can't be that good. So anyways, I got there. I had a few days before the trip, before the work thing I had to do. And so I went to Franklin Barbecue. I got there like at 7 a.m. By the time I got there, I was like number 5 in the line. Once they opened, I was like 20th because everybody else in front of me had invited like 3 to 5 friends. But I remember waiting there and just feeling this like awesome, only in Texas experience that I had ever felt in my life. I could smell, I could feel everybody's hype in line. The people in front of me was also their first time being there. Anyway, so we waited. I read my book, played with my iPad, and then it was the grand opening, 11 o'clock. So they opened, and I remember walking in there and just seeing all the swag on the right side, seeing like the retro tables, the menu. A lot of the stuff was like in butcher paper and Sharpie, and just feeling like, oh my gosh, this is like legit. This is not like Famous Dave's or Dickey's. This is like legit. This is someone's like passion. And I just remember feeling like that excitement, like I'm finally here. I waited 5 hours, and the cutter was slicing the briskets, and he gave me this burn end on a wax paper, and he said, take one and pass it down. And I kid you not, the moment I took that bite, my life changed into a barbecue addiction. I was in love. I had the perfect bite. It was salty, it was peppery, it was rich with all that melted tallow. It was perfect. Like I said, guys, after that trip, my life became I revolved my life around barbecue. It became my personality, you could say. I came home, smoked more. I remember my first brisket. I'll put the pictures here on screen. I remember my first brisket. I went to Costco, didn't trim it. I threw a bunch of like Traeger beef rubs and all these rubs, whatnot, not knowing, like how to really make it. I smoked it for 9 hours, and then I sliced it right away. And yeah, sure enough, all the juices run out because you don't let it rest. And in the time, I thought it was delicious. But it took me years, honestly, and to lots of practice to get to where I'm at now. And I think that's part of the reason why I'm making this video, guys, is because I know some of you that follow me, some of you that I'm friends with, we're all learning. And so I want you to be able to remember that, because sometimes it can be discouraging, you smoke and you're like, I did everything right, I followed all the instructions. and it's still not good. Weather can have a huge impact, you know, the quality of the meat when you start it. So there's a lot of factors that go into it, but practice will make you better. That sounds cheesy, but very, very true. But yeah, I think a big thing that has helped me in my barbecue journey is being surrounded with people who believe in me, people who help me practice making barbecue. A big friend who believes in me is Dave Stevenson. He's always helping with the barbecue sales by supporting them and allowing me to better improve my barbecue. Another big person who has helped me with this is my wife. She bought me this awesome offset, my first offset smoker for my birthday, Father's Day, Christmas, everything together. And this smoker has helped me elevate my pellet to offset, and just the bark, the flavor you get on an offset smoker. For those of you who actually know about barbecue, you know there's a big difference between pellet and offset. Say all you want to say. Those of you who actually know what I'm talking about and know barbecue, you know offset is king when it comes to barbecue. Make sure you're surrounded by people who believe in you. You'll have a lot of negative people when you do this, you know, people who don't believe in you, people who will make fun of you. But ignore that, you know, stick with the people who believe in you. A great example of mine is Dino Hollister. You can see his YouTube channel. But his like philosophy, without him saying it to me, means like enjoying life and doing most with it in the years we have here on earth. And so I'm like, yeah, sometimes, you know, the grills, the smokers can be expensive, and it's an expensive hobby, but I enjoy being able to use like the tools and resources that I have, being able to share that with others. And so barbecue for me and grilling for me is like big time, happy, peaceful moments. And so, yeah, I'm gonna invest into my mental health, into my peace. And so I really enjoy it. And I like to live life to the fullest, like my friend Dana and Cindy Hollister. So yeah, guys, that's a little bit about the barbecue story. Basically, in a nutshell, I fell in love at Franklin Barbecue, and my life changed since then. I've been fortunate enough to go back to Texas a couple times with my wife and do barbecue tours for like 3 or 4 days and just try some of the best barbecue joints in that area. Like Dallas, we've been to Cadillac Barbecue, Panther City. In Lockhart, we had the awesome opportunity to meet Chuck from Barb's BBQ and just chat up with her a little bit. We've met the folks at Panther City, great people. We also had the opportunity to go to Lexington, Texas, where we waited in line for 15 hours at Snow's Barbecue. We were with our friends Brad and Simcoe and just literally slept on their porch while we waited for them to open. We did it, I think it was what, 14 hours?
15 hours, yeah.
Something like that. Our brains aren't working right now. They're like half asleep.
It's barbecue o'clock right now. That's all.
Yes, but we're gonna eat soon. Oh yes, let's go. Alrighty guys, wanted to change up the scene, and I wanted to show you something that like makes me happy and like shows some of the travels in our barbecue journey. I've got 2 Patagonia workwear aprons filled with Patagonia patches and Patagonia joints that we've been to. Christ Market, Snow's Barbecue. Oh, we also got to meet Roy at Kraus Market, and their brisket was so good. I loved seeing the employees and the vibe at Christ Market because it was like a younger teenage Mexican American group of kids who were working there, and it was just so cool to see them involved in barbecue. It was so cool to see their like giant rectangle smokers. So yeah, check out some of these patches, guys. I'll do a zoom in later. But this is like, I want to leave these to my kids when I'm no longer here. It's like a little expression of like some of the places we've been to. I use these when I do my barbecue videos, when I smoke and grill. Franklin Barbecue, Pitmaster, Yeti, No Sleep Till Brisket. If you know, you know. So we have like traveled to meet and eat at the best barbecue joints in Texas. We have spent countless hours making barbecue. My wife always helps me with the sides, with packaging, with all the desserts. And we like go to all these places and we're like, okay, this place has amazing scalloped potatoes, Interstellar Barbecue. This place has amazing brisket, Goldie's, Franklin Barbecue. This place has amazing ribs. And so we try and basically take the best of all the joints we've been to and try to do it here in our home here in Riverton, Utah. And so yeah, it takes practice, it takes skill, but I'm grateful that I have found this hobby. This has been my barbecue journey. Basically fell in love with it by going on a trip, a work trip, and then bringing it home and trying to basically have that Texas style barbecue here in Riverton, Utah. As you can see, you know, a lot of the influence of like Texas. I got this hat in Lockhart, offset smoker, Texas style. And also I like to do some grilling, as you've seen on my channel. I've got this custom made Santa Maria grill from Los Custom Smokers. I have my Bacana grills. And so whatever I can make with fire, meat and fire, I'm happy. So yeah guys, that's my barbecue story. Started kind of by accident and fell in love with it, and have brought it home here to Riverton, Utah, and try to make it the best as I can as Texas. If you're in Utah, I highly recommend you visit my friends at Pickin Barbecue. They were just nominated by Daniel Vaughn with a Texas Monthly #7 in all the US for the best Texas style barbecue outside of Texas. So that was an awesome video we did. My friend Mo and Yayo helped me make that video. I cannot wait to go back there. So if you're in Utah, go to Pickin ASAP, get the brisket, flour tortilla, and just eat that. Don't add anything else, just flour tortilla, slice of brisket on top, make that your first bite, get something else after, but make that your first bite, okay? So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the support the past year. It's been a ton of fun. I genuinely love when I get an email saying you have a new YouTube comment, and I go to my video, and like 99% of my YouTube comments are positive. And I love that, and I love commenting, interacting with people, asking for like recipes or time and method, or just simply like saying hi. So keep commenting, I really appreciate it. I try to comment back to everyone. So, like I always say, thank you for watching. See you next time.